Hello, church family. This is Wednesday, January the 13th, as you're watching this, and we are in day 4 of our fast, the 21 days for breakthrough. And we are asking God for breakthrough in our family, in our life, in our spiritual walk, in our church, and just even in our nation. Every part of our life, we're asking God for breakthrough. We've already begun to see some of those things happen, I believe, and I know we did on Sunday, and we're looking forward to what God is going to do in the coming days, weeks, and even the months, the year ahead, expecting great things from God. Now, in this devotion, I'm going to be talking about praying through, which is a form of breakthrough. But I want to remind you that my intent is to do these devotions at least Monday through Saturday. I'm going to try to put one out every day except Sunday during the whole time of this fast. And I hope they encourage you, I hope they strengthen you, and I hope they focus you on our effort in this fast. Now, I want to get into my study today, and I'm not going to be very long. It's probably going to be shorter than most, but we're talking today about praying through, and you might not know the term. Most of you probably do. If you're my age or older, I'm pretty sure you've heard it. We used to hear older Christians advise younger believers, new believers, for instance, when they were struggling with a decision or a moral dilemma or whatever, we would hear them say, get on your knees and pray until you pray through. Have you ever heard that? I would guess that some of you have. In more recent years, we've heard it maybe phrased a little differently. How many of you have heard of PUSH? P-U-S-H. That's an acronym that stands for pray until something happens. This is the same thought. This is the same idea. And what it is, we're praying until we see the move of God that we've been looking for. We pray until we get to breakthrough. When you pray, you don't just pray about something because you haven't received the answer. You don't just stop praying because you haven't received the answer. You don't get tired and just stop praying. When you pray, you should be praying until you get the breakthrough. You should be praying until God answers. Sometimes His answer is no, but we should be praying until He answers. Rarely do we pray with that intensity today, but we should. In Luke chapter 18, Jesus talks about just such a method of prayer when He's telling His disciples about praying. He says in the King James Version, Luke chapter 18, verse 1, and we'll read down through verse 8. I'm going to read New Living Translation. But in the King James Version, Jesus said, men ought always to pray and not faint. But anyway, in the New Living Translation, it says we should never give up. Let me read it to you. One day, Jesus told His disciples a story to show that they should always pray and never give up. There was a judge in a certain city, and he said, who neither feared God nor cared about people. A widow of that city came to him repeatedly, saying, give me justice in this dispute with my enemy. The judge ignored her for a while, but finally he said to himself, I do not fear God or care about people, but this woman is driving me crazy. I love that terminology there from the New Living Translation. Anyway, he goes on to say, I'm going to see that she gets justice because she is wearing me out with her constant requests. Verse 6 says, then the Lord said, learn the lesson from this unjust judge. Even he rendered a just decision in the end. So don't you think that surely God will give justice to His chosen people who cry out to Him day and night. Will He keep putting them off? Verse 8 begins with this phrase, and then it goes into some other things. But it says, I tell you, He will grant them justice quickly. Now, in this fast, 21 days of breakthrough, let me just encourage you, don't give up. Don't give up. Whatever you've been praying for, maybe you've even put it on the back burner. You're not praying about it like you used to. I'm telling you, go after God on this. If His word says you can have it, pray for it and expect it and believe it and ask God for a breakthrough in that area. As you're praying this this week or in the weeks to come, don't give up just because you're tired. Don't give up just because you're hungry or you've got a headache from the lack of caffeine. Don't stop just because there's resistance, because there will be spiritual resistance. This is spiritual war. And so when you face resistance, pray all the more. Pray until something happens. Pray until you get that breakthrough. Pray through. That's what I want to tell you today. And I believe that if you will pray with that diligence, you're going to see an amazing move of God in your life. We're looking for breakthrough. I believe we're going to see it. God bless you.